Good morning, Auntie and Gus. I wanted to give you a little tour of my garden this morning. So we'll start over here. So this is my big, huge oregano plant that goes crazy every year. And then we've got some radishes and peas. It's been kind of hot. I don't know how long the peas are going to last. And then here, you'll see I have a bean trellis. So in a couple weeks, the beans will grow all the way up over the trellis. And I've got some fennel growing as well. And in the next bed, with the other side of the beans, this one, it's not been super successful. But over there is my garlic, and that is getting ready to be harvested. So we did well on the garlic. This one, these are chives. And this I have, I don't know, 6 or 7 tomato plants along the cage. And then in front of the tomatoes, I grow carrots. And then I've got a lemon basil and an Italian basil. And then this bed I grow, it's called a square foot bed, where I teach the kids how to use a small space to grow many things. So I have rosemary and basil, I have lettuce, I have arugula, a tomato plant, radishes, spinach, a little tiny pepper that hasn't really taken off yet, more peas, carrots, beans, beets, some cucumbers, more tomatoes, flowers, thyme. Then in this bed, I've got rosemary, and then I've got 4 eggplants. And then this is my pepper bed, so I have all different sizes of peppers and types of peppers. Got some jalapenos, and then different color bells. And then swinging around, this is my pollinator bed, so it's all flowers to attract the bees. So we have different flowers in there. This is my blueberry bed, and these bushes aren't doing as great. I'm going to move them next year. So I have 4 here, but I have a vision for next year. It's going to be different. Those are the raised beds. Oh, and then this is the best part of the garden, is my blackberry patch right here. So I have that trellis there, and they are loaded this year for blackberries. This is supposed to be my lettuce and chard and spinach and kale and arugula, and the bunnies keep eating it, so I gotta come up with a plan. This is my asparagus, so that's done for the season, and then they grow big and spindly like that. And then this is the upper part of the garden, where I've got melons and cucumbers and lots of different squash and pumpkins, kind of all over, different varieties. And excuse the weeds, I can't keep up on this. It's whatever kids come over to help, but this is the weedy section of the garden. And then over here I've got another 2 rows of tomatoes, so where the pink flags are tomatoes that are coming up. And then my established big tomatoes, I have, I don't know, I probably have 20 tomato plants. And then here is the corn. And I have that coming up in a few stages. So I'll give you kind of a look from the back as I'm standing in the garden. There's Kona, my dog. And so we have all of the raised beds and my little barn. And then over here are my fruit trees that I don't do a very good job. I don't know what I'm doing with fruit trees, but this is an a Japanese plum. And so they're these yellow plums look like that. And then I do have an Italian plum tree that only blooms like, I don't know, every 5 years. I have more berries through here. And then that was my cherry tree, and it just finished. We had tons of cherries this year. And so in the front here, so now you can kind of see the other side. These are my raspberry bushes that we just put in last year, so they don't fruit the first year. But hopefully those will be nice and big. And here's a new blueberry bush I put in that we're gonna move. And then these are my pears. So I have 2 different types of pears, and then 3 apple trees. Like I said, I don't do a great job with the fruit. I don't trim them well, and they're full of bugs, but it's okay. And then this side, behind the barn, we grow our mounded crops of pumpkins. So we have a big pumpkin patch. So we should have a good amount of pumpkins for the kids this year, and then I have some sunflowers coming up. But that is a tour of my crazy garden, and looking at my yard from the back of the house. But yeah, this is what keeps me busy in the summer, and I'm learning lots working at the farm. And we'll end with Kona saying hello. Hi baby, say hi. Hello.